How long do you want to live? Let's talk about that.
Upgrades.
So it's a very simple question, and it can seem a bit morbid to think about. But honestly, have you ever thought, how long do you want to live for? And I know this question gets passed around quite a lot through all these podcasts, and a lot of people say, oh, I don't want to live that long because of this reason, of that reason. I don't want to be old and crepid. Well, how about you start planning this life ahead so you don't get old and crepid, right? It sounds really silly, and I know everybody wants to live in this YOLO mentality, but it just doesn't exist, right? You do only live once, you are correct. So surely you should make the most of this life and want to go through it in as much peace and tranquility as possible. And the only way you're going to do this is by preparing yourself for what's coming. And I don't mean to scare you, but if you are not doing the right things now, you are not prepared for the future. And we've all seen the old people walking around struggling. And I'm not saying all of them is because of the same thing, but 99% of them just didn't prepare their bodies for what's coming. And I know it sounds silly, but you have to prepare, because I'll be honest with you, I've got a son. I want to be chasing after him in 20, 30, 40 years time. I want to still be able to run. I want to go out and be able to do these things that, I've seen other people unable to do at their age. And that all starts with me. I'm the only one responsible for that. And there's no way of me actually getting out of this responsibility. Trust me, for years I've tried. What you need to do is take a step back, look at your life and see what you're doing on a daily basis. Is this putting you into negative equity with life, or is it putting you into positive equity? So are you gaining years on your life, or are you losing years on a daily basis? Now, a lot of things go towards your health: smoking, eating junk, drinking, drugs, everything that you can think of that's fun. Yes, it's bad for you, but this doesn't mean you have to stop everything, okay? It's about taking that step back, realizing what's important to your actual real dopamine levels. So dopamine being the drug that is released in your brain when you are about to get something good, okay? Lots of people get this from cigarettes, which is why they smoke 20 a day, is because every time they reach for that packet, they get an urge, a sensation that, you don't get otherwise, right? And that's, all down to the amazing scientists behind cigarettes who have designed these things to hook you, keep your dopamine levels sedated until you give in to these evil cigarettes that are going to shorten your lifespan and increase their bank accounts. But we won't go too far into that today. What you need to do, take a step back, as I said, look at what you're doing and write these things down. So on a daily basis, are you having that fatty breakfast? You potentially limit that down, include some fruit, some nuts, that is not only going to help you live longer, but it's going to help your initial energy levels boost further than you've ever had before. Because once you get into this routine, your body will realize that these fruits, these nuts, these vegetables are energy sources, and they will start to burn them quicker, faster than you could ever burn a Big Mac. Right? Okay, so once your body starts to feel the benefits of burning these green and colourful vegetables, you will just see how much more positive, natural energy you have. You're not going to be reaching for the Red Bull like you usually do, because you have that natural energy in your system. You'll find yourself hopping out of bed. And yes, I mean that. As a man that struggled for years, I used to have 7 alarms on my phone set. Now, I have one, and I wake up before my alarm. That's how well my body has adapted to these new routines that I've put in place. And you can too. It doesn't take too much energy just to change these little things. And you'll be surprised. Vegetables are nice. I know it's ridiculous. How can they be nice? They're not on the telly. We don't see a clown parading vegetables to give to kids. This is where the media gets you again. If you look at 60, 70% of the world, they live off of vegetables. It's imperative to their human nature, the way they act. They wouldn't be able to do the same work or live the same lives if they were eating Big Macs all day. If you look at European and Greeks and Spanish, and they are eating these Mediterranean diets that just allow them to live a lot longer. So when you go to these countries and you see older people actively still out, still farming, still doing what they need to do on a day-to-day basis, and they can because their energy levels are flying, probably higher than yours at the moment watching this. But it sounds crazy, but it's true. Just treat your body like a temple. I know we've all heard that before, but your body is a temple, and all you need to do is input the right things and you can gain so much more from it. To jump in a bit further with what you do today creates you tomorrow, you have to understand that life is all about consequences, okay? And consequence is a horrible word. It scares a lot of people. A consequence is something that happens that the former you has done. So there's no one else to blame. It's a consequence because of your action, okay? So if your consequence is, being overweight, that's because you haven't gone to the gym, you've been eating junk food, and there's no one else you can blame. I know a lot of people try to do this. I did for years. I thought, well, I'm just a big guy. I'm 6'4". I thought, I'm just big boned. No, I was just eating junk for years. Over the past 2 years, I've cut my diet to actual healthy food. So whole foods, chicken breasts, salmon, vegetables, potatoes. None of this McDonald's or junk food, processed food crap that you get frozen in the shops. If you see it in the freezer, don't touch it, unless it's obviously a whole chicken. But anything usually from the freezer section is made of a million different molecules. It's not natural. Your body is not designed to break these down. But once you have these whole foods in your body, it can naturally break them down so easily, intake all the nutrients, and you can just feel the difference. You'll just feel energy levels, you'll feel positivity, you'll feel the dopamine release in your brain when you're going to cook these meals, because it's exciting. You're doing something instead of just pressing a button on your phone, getting your favorite burger delivered, and then 20 minutes later feeling like crap because your body's sitting there going, what have you put in me? I've got to get this out of me now. It's not taking the time to enjoy what you put in it. So just think about the consequences. And I know self-hate is not the way, especially in this day and age, that I should be telling you to live your life. But honestly, if you have done something wrong, if you sat up last night and ate that whole pack of Marylands, that's not my fault, that's yours. But on the flip side, I did stay up last night and I had a pack of Maryland cookies, so that's my fault. But the consequences aren't going to affect me because I'm actively responding to them. I know I ate cookies last night, so do you know what I'm doing today? Continuing with my gym routine, going to do some cardio, burn off some extra energy because I know I ate those cookies last night. I'm not trying to limit my life. I'm not trying to make it so it's not fun, because that's, you want to live long, but you want to have fun along the way. So have your cookies, but just make sure you're doing a workout at the same time. Not at the same time, you can if you like, but I think you would get frowned on in the gym. But eat your cookies, but go for a run, then have a salad. It's not difficult to create balance in your life. It's just difficult when the mainstream media is just promoting Subways and burgers and pizzas when you should be eating chicken, salad, salmon, fish, anything that's just fresh, whole food. Trust me, it will change your life completely. And I'm not going to tell you to hate yourself for it, but look, in 2 years' time, you will look back, and instead of looking at that guy that created these consequences you're suffering with now, you're going to look back and be proud of yourself, thinking, whoa, look how far I've come in 2 years. Look how far I've come from eating that McDonald's on a daily basis, getting a McDonald's breakfast. What kind of start to the day is that? So trust me, once you look back on your self-improvement journey, you're going to be so happy with every stage of person you were, whether it was good, whether it was bad, because from all of these, you have learned to become a better person, to become more conscious of what you are doing to your life, because it's only in your hands, nobody else's. So look, let's live life, let's get old, let's live to whatever age you want, and let's have fun while we're at it. But make sure you're keeping your body healthy. You're keeping yourself up to speed with how you want to function, because if you're not, you will go down the route of being that person that is slowing down. You will feel the slow down of age. And I don't want that for anybody. I want all of us to grow old and still be running around. So let's make the nursing home a mess. Have a good one, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did like it, please give it a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you next time.
You're still only human.